Good morning class. Now today I'll start with the microeconomics. In this chapter, major portion is deleted according to the revised syllabus of a CBSE. So hardly few topics are there, one or two topics are there in this chapter. So first of all, introduction of the economics, which I have already given to you in the statistics, but again I am giving you the definition of the economics. We know that economics you have already studied in the 10th standard in the social science. And according as a social science, it studies the economic behavior of the people and the economic phenomenon. But what is the need to read the economics separate? So what is the definition of the economics? Because as a society, the economics person has to decide that how the resources can be divided among the people, how the resources can be divided, and effectively and efficiently it should be utilized. So economics definition, it studies how people allocate their limited resources to their alternative uses of produce and consume goods and services to satisfy their wants. Okay, that means economics always deals that how the limited resources can be divided among the different people so everyone can satisfy their demand. Now, the next topic is the subject matter of the economics. Exactly what we are going to read in the economics: microeconomics, macroeconomics. Microeconomics you are going to read in the 11th standard and macroeconomics we will read in the 12th standard. So first of all, let's understand the difference between micro and macro. Literal meaning of the micro is at the small level, okay? Whereas the macro literal meaning is at the whole economy level. Small level, that means it studies the economic behavior of an individual economic unit. That means this microeconomics deal with the individual consumer, individual producer, individual firm, individual household, individual consumer की demand, individual producer's supply, individual person's income, etc. That means here we will think about the single unit, about the individual person, about the individual thing we are going to read in the microeconomics. But in the macroeconomics, as I said, that it is related with the whole economy, or maybe it is related with the aggregate of the economy. So it is concerned with the behavior of the economy as a whole. That means here we were thinking about the single unit, but here we are going to read about the whole economy. So here we can discuss individual income, but here national income, that means पूरी country की income we are going to discuss over here. Here we can discuss about the individual consumer's demand, but here aggregate demand. Aggregate demand means demand of the whole economy of the particular commodity. Supply, individual supply, here we are going to discuss in the micro, but in macro, aggregate supply of the economy. That means macroeconomics deals with the whole economy, whereas microeconomics deal with the individual unit. Now, in microeconomics we will discuss here demand and supply, but in the macroeconomics we will discuss about the aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Here you will read about the consumer's equilibrium, producer's equilibrium, price determination, but in the microeconomics we will discuss about the national income, about aggregate demand, about the income and employment theory. That means these are the theories which is related with the whole economy, but demand, supply, price, all these things are related with the individual unit. So this is the subject matter of the micro and macroeconomics. This picture I will send you so you can note down in your notes register. Now the next topic is the types of economy. Types of economy, that means there are the three types of the economy. First of all is the market economy. With the name it is clear, market economy is the economy in which economic activities are left to the free play of the market forces. Now understand, actually this diagram is not required right now for you. This you can understand in the last unit of the microeconomics. So if you are not getting it, don't worry. Market economy means ऐसी इकोनॉमी जिसमें कि कमोडिटी की प्राइस सेट होती है मार्केट की फोर्सेस की वजह से. एंड व्हाट आर द मार्केट फोर्सेस? डिमांड ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट एंड सप्लाई ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट. So wherever the demand and supply curve intersect, at that point price is set and at that point quantity is set. So that means this is the economy which is totally dependent on the market forces. These are your market forces. That means no interference of the government. This is the free play of the market forces. That means every commodity's price can be set up according to the market demand and market supply. That means there is no government interference regarding what to produce, how much to produce, and for whom to produce. Everything will be dependent on the market condition. And in the market economy, all the economic activities are organized through the market, and a free market economy operates automatically through the price mechanism. This is the price mechanism. Wherever both the curves intersect, at that point the price is set. So that means this is the price mechanism. So here price of the commodity is determined by the free play. Free it is given, no interference is there of the government. So the price is determined by the free play of the market forces of demand and supply. Okay, this economy is also known as a capitalist economy also. Just like UK, US, all these economies are known as a market or a capitalist economy. Now next one is the centrally planned economy or a socialist economy. The centrally planned, with the name it is clear. That means in the previous one I said that there is a free play of demand and supply. Freely the market forces can work. But in the centrally planned economy, the market forces cannot work freely. That means in this type of the economy, the economic activities are decided by some central authority or by the government. Just like China. That means in these countries no free market forces are there. Everything will be centrally planned by the government. Okay, so such type of the economies are known as a socialist economy or the centrally planned economy. That means this type of the economy is not free economy. Only a central authority decides the overall goods and the services that people can produce or consume. Okay. Now the next type of the economy, this type of the economy is also known as a socialist economy. An example is China. Now next one is the mixed economy. Mixed economy example is India. That means in our country we are allowing the interference of the government also, and we are allowing the market forces to work free also. How? That means in our country the commodities price can be set by the industries by own. That means there is no interference of the government in the price mechanism of the commodity. That means business persons or the industrialists can set up the prices according to the market condition. They can sell their commodities in the other countries also. They can do the investment. They can allow the other people also to do the investment. But as a socialist economy, how Indian economy is working? That means Indian government is interfering in the commodities just like wheat, rice. That means MSP is fixed. So that means social welfare is also done by the Indian government, and some benefit is also given to the industrialist by giving them free, or maybe by allowing the industrialist to play the free market. That is the example of the market economy. And by interfering in setting up the MSP, the minimum support price for the wheat, that shows the quality of a socialist economy. So in this way the Indian economy is working like a mixed economy. Now let's discuss the difference between a centrally planned or the market economy. Market economy, it is a free economy in which the central problems are solved by the market forces of demand and supply. That means here there is a proper interference of the government, and everything will be decided by the demand and the supply forces. Whereas the planned economy, just like China, everything will be handled by the central authority of the government. Now second one, objective. Market economy का main objective क्या है? Profit maximization. That's why they are allowing their products to play in the market forces. Whereas planned economy's main objective is social welfare. That's why everything is in the hand of a central authority. Third, operation. Operation through the price mechanism. As I have shown you the diagram, that demand and supply, wherever it intersect, according to that the price mechanism work. But here no price mechanism, everything will be operated by the central authority. Allocation of the resources. Resources are allocated with the motive of the earning profit or economic power. अलोकेशन मीन्स जहाँ आपको ज़रूरत है वहाँ आप चीज़ों को सेट करते हो. तो in the market economy we are allocating the resources in those areas from where we can get the profit. But in the planned economy, rational allocation of the resources is made in it. That means they allocate the resources in such a manner that everyone will get the benefit because their main motive is social welfare. Last one, factors of the production are privately owned. Factors of production, this term you leave it because this term I will discuss with you in the second unit. I have already I wanted to discuss this topic with you, but this topic which you can see over here, this time it is deleted by the CBSE.